What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, November 30th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 9:08 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Ohio, from Venezuela, from Russia, from Israel. So I want to get you caught up on the latest breaking news that you need to know in order to be prepared for the coming hard times and the end times. So apparently, a childhood pneumonia outbreak has occurred in southwest Ohio in Warren County, with over 140 cases being reported, which is much higher than the normal amount. And local health officials are saying they don't believe it's caused by a novel virus, which would be a new virus of some kind. But I find it very weird that this outbreak is occurring at the same time as the outbreak in China. And I showed you guys some pictures of the Chinese health workers wearing Ghostbusters outfits and spraying classrooms in schools with disinfectant. So something's going on, guys. Okay, we could have lockdowns return very, very soon. All right. And in addition to that, we have possibly another war front opening up in South America, which would basically be right in our backyard. Okay, a potential war between Venezuela and Guyana. There's several dozen American oil and gas platforms off the coast of Guyana, guys. Okay, all the major oil companies have platforms there. And a few years ago, a major oil deposit was found in Guyana. And a lot of experts predict that Guyana could become the next Qatar or UAE in the next couple of decades if they are able to tap into this oil deposit. And obviously, Venezuela doesn't want that to happen because they're a major oil exporter. So Guyana would basically be competing with them or potentially even outcompete them. All right, these oil deposits are richer than the ones in Venezuela. Okay, so that would make Guyana one of the top oil producers in the world. So Venezuela doesn't want that to happen. The sad thing is that Guyana does not have the same amount of heavy equipment as Venezuela does. Venezuela has a lot of T-72s and various types of tanks and armored vehicles that they purchased from Russia and China. So Venezuela is definitely favored in a war against Guyana. However, Guyana has strategic partnerships with the U.S., with Canada, with Great Britain, with Brazil. Brazil has put their military in an emergency activation mode. They're deploying heavy weapon battalions to the border of Guyana and Venezuela right now as we speak. Okay. On Sunday, there's going to be a referendum in Venezuela. They're going to be voting on whether basically the western 2/3 of Guyana should belong to Venezuela. The entire part of Guyana that's west of the Essequibo River. The Essequibo River kind of bisects Guyana from north to south. Okay, it's kind of like a spine in the middle of Guyana, and Venezuela claims that everything west of that should be theirs and is historically theirs. So Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, which is a communist country, is basically pulling a Vladimir Putin here, doing the same thing that Putin did in 2014, and then most recently last year when they did the referendums in the occupied territories in Ukraine, Kherson, Zaporizhia, and so on, and Donetsk, Luhansk. So this is very, very serious, guys. And the Venezuelan Defense Minister, VP Lopez, recently said in a speech that Venezuela is against Guyana's imperialism and the Venezuelan military is ready to intervene. Okay, and here's that speech where he said that. Okay, this is the Venezuelan Minister of Defense saying that Venezuela is ready to intervene in Guyana, guys. Okay, this is very concerning. This is right in our backyard. Okay, this could be a major war. This could be an even bigger war than Ukraine because it's right in our backyard, and there's a lot of oil there. There's a lot of Western oil companies there, so we would have to intervene, guys. And the territory, the terrain in that part of the world is very forested. It's all jungle. So you're talking about a very long and drawn out war with a lot of guerrilla war, a lot of jungle fighting. Just think about Vietnam, how many years the U.S. fought against the Viet Cong in the jungles of Vietnam. I mean, just a very bloody war. We could see something like that right in Venezuela, just in our backyard. Okay. And the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov warned that Moldova could be the next victim of the West's hybrid war on Russia. Very ominous choice of words here. So it looks like Russia is eyeballing Moldova as the next possible country to invade. So this is very concerning. And this was posted by TASS today. TASS is the Russian government funded news agency. And I want to just show you guys some flight paths. Right now, we have a nuclear war command and control plane up in the air over Nebraska. And it took off from Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City just about 2 hours ago. And earlier today, we had 3 of these in the air, and 2 of them were getting aerially refueled over Kentucky and Tennessee. We also have U.S. reconnaissance assets operating off the coast of Lebanon and Israel. And we also have an aerial refueler circling over northern Iraq near Erbil, which is one of the bases that has been attacked by pro-Iranian militias, okay, in Erbil Airport. So they've been flying these aerial refuelers nonstop the last few days, just doing loops over Erbil. Here's a closer look. You can see the blue lines here are from an RC-135 rivet joint that was flying off the coast of Israel and Lebanon, okay, parallel to the coast of Lebanon and Israel, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we also had this RQ-4 Global Hawk that was flying along the coast of Lebanon, which is very, very interesting, okay, because the war is in Gaza down here, not up here. So something could be brewing in Lebanon, guys. Maybe Hezbollah is planning a massive surprise attack on Israel. I reported a few days ago that there were rumors that Hezbollah has plans to launch thousands of Grad rockets at Israel in a massive surprise attack to overwhelm the Iron Dome system. And then after overwhelming the Iron Dome system with the cheap Grad rockets, they can then fire precision missiles, okay, that are guided and can hit a target with pinpoint accuracy all across Israel. And the rumor was that if the war continues in Gaza, then that's what Hezbollah would do. And you can see up here on the top right, you can see that aerial refueler circling around Erbil. This is very interesting. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months, and it's a variety of food, lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. And an Israeli Iron Dome air defense system launched 2 interceptor missiles near the border with Lebanon, and apparently they exploded in the airspace over the border with Lebanon. And the Israeli army said that the air defense succeeded in intercepting an air threat that crossed Lebanese territory towards Israel. So very interesting. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is currently in Jerusalem holding talks with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and Israeli media is reporting that Antony Blinken's meeting with the War Council already began earlier today in Tel Aviv. So he already met with Netanyahu. He already met with the War Cabinet or War Council. And apparently he's going to be meeting with the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, in Ramallah. Okay, so very high level meetings here. A lot of very important people that he's meeting. He's making his rounds in that region, okay, which tells me that something is going on behind the scenes, that they're working on some kind of a deal, or they're trying to make a deal, or if not, it looks like Israel is about to start some kind of massive campaign into southern Gaza. And Netanyahu apparently told Antony Blinken that Israel has sworn to destroy Hamas and nothing will stop it from doing so. Okay, so forget about any kind of ceasefire. It's not going to happen, guys. Okay, the leader of Israel is a patriot. He loves Israel. He loves his people, and he's going to do whatever is necessary to protect them. So I don't think there's going to be any kind of permanent ceasefire. The Qatari defense minister, Al Attiyah, has arrived in Turkey. So that's very interesting. The Qatari defense minister arriving in Turkey. And the Islamic Resistance of Iraq said in a recent press release that they have carried out various attacks on U.S. military bases in Syria and Iraq over the last few weeks, and that they will continue to attack U.S. troops as long as the U.S. does not end support for the Israeli army. Okay, so they released this official statement. Okay, these are one of the Iranian militias that have been attacking our bases, saying that they're going to continue to attack the U.S. troops and U.S. bases until the U.S. stops supporting Israel. And the Russian army has reportedly stormed the first residential neighborhoods in the city of Avdiivka. So that's very concerning. Russia is gaining a lot of ground in Avdiivka. At the same time, Ukraine has gained a lot of ground on the left bank of the Dnipro River, which is the eastern side of the Dnipro River in southern Ukraine, across from Kherson City, close to where the nuclear power plant is over there. Ukraine has been working hard to establish several bridgeheads, and they've already moved their forces over the Dnipro. So on one side, Ukraine made a huge gain by doing that. On the other side, they're losing Avdiivka, which is very, very important. It's a very strategic location there, and it looks like Russia's going to take it over potentially. We'll have to wait and see. And the Chinese military is apparently highly concerned over the situation in northern Myanmar. The Global Times, the Chinese government news agency quoted the Chinese Defense Ministry, who said that the Chinese military will be prepared for all kinds of possible emergencies that might occur along the China-Myanmar border due to the militants who are operating in northern Myanmar on the border with China. And what you're looking at here is a tweet from Dmitry Medvedev, and he commented on Henry Kissinger's death. He posted this earlier this morning, and he wrote, "Henry Kissinger has died. He has faithfully served his country for many years. At the same time, he was a pragmatist who took realities into consideration and not just followed the U.S. foreign policy canons. Now there aren't even traces of the people like him in the U.S. administration and the Western world. R.I.P." So another interesting tweet from Dmitry Medvedev. He always says really crazy stuff on social media. And we currently have a strong geomagnetic storm coming our way. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration here in the United States has issued a G3 class geomagnetic storm watch for tomorrow. So if you have clear skies later tonight or clear skies tomorrow evening, you want to look towards the north. You want to get up on some high ground so you're not surrounded by hills. You don't want to be in like a valley. You don't want to be in like a bowl. You want to be up on the top somewhere on a plateau or on the top of a hill. And you want to look towards the north if you have a clear sky with no light pollution, and you might be able to see some auroras. Okay, so just pray and ask God to give you some clear skies tomorrow night so you can see an aurora, especially if you live in the lower latitudes. Okay, so there's a really good chance that if you live in the lower latitudes, you might see an aurora tonight or tomorrow night. Apparently, there's been 4 coronal mass ejections in the last couple of days. Okay, and they have not updated their K index yet. So we don't know what the K index is going to be for tomorrow. Right now, they have it pretty low for the next 12 to 18 hours. But when they fill in beyond that, I'll update you guys and let you know what the K index is for later on tomorrow. And the K index, or the KP index, is just an index of how strong they expect the geomagnetic storm to be. Usually you want a KP index of 7 or higher if you want to see auroras in lower latitudes. Okay. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll keep you updated. I will be back tomorrow with more updates. And until next time, take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.